Welcome. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here for this explainer. Look, we all spend hours, sometimes literally days, crafting amazing course content. But today, we're diving into an absolute game changer for course creators. We're going to talk about transforming that static Moodle content into dynamic, highly interactive learning experiences using H5P, because at the end of the day, how we assess that content makes all the difference. Let's get right into seamlessly blending H5P's multiple choice and true-false activities directly into your Moodle environment.
Right off the bat, we've got to ask the tough question. Are your learners actually retaining information? Or are they just blindly clicking next over and over until they finally hit that final quiz? You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a massive pain point for instructional designers. We've all seen or frankly built those courses where learners just passively scroll through endless text, completely disengaged. Well, today, we're going to solve this by moving those assessments right into the flow of learning to capture their attention and actually boost retention.
Here's our game plan for today. Number 1, active versus passive learning. Number 2, Moodle Quiz versus H5P. Number 3, multiple choice use cases. Number 4, true-false learning strategies. Number 5, adding H5P to Moodle. And number 6, the power of feedback.
Section 1, active versus passive learning. Okay, so this right here is the core philosophy behind why integrating H5P is so incredibly effective. Active learning is all about engaging with the content as it progresses. It literally forces learners to pause, reflect, and apply concepts at the exact moment they're being taught. Contrast this with the old-school method of passively dumping a ton of complex concepts on a learner and then waiting until the very end of the module to test them. I mean, by then, all the important nuances are completely gone. Active learning demands that they participate in the journey.
Just think about the difference in the user experience. Passive learning, it's a total slog. It's endless pages of reading followed by a totally disconnected final quiz. But active learning, it's dynamic. You learn a new concept, you immediately encounter an embedded question, you get instant feedback, and then you continue. We're making a massive shift here, from isolated end-of-lesson testing to in-context practice. And the best part is, it catches those little misconceptions before they can solidify into a completely flawed foundation.
Section 2, Moodle Quiz versus H5P.
Now that we've got the pedagogy down, when exactly do we use Moodle's native tools and when do we bring in H5P? Well, here is a really simple decision framework. Moodle's native quizzes, those are your heavy lifters. You use those for formal, summative assessments, usually parked right at the end of your modules. Their true strengths are gradebook integration, heavy analytics, and handling certifications. H5P, on the other hand, is built for formative, on-the-fly knowledge checks embedded directly inside the content. Its absolute superpower is providing immediate feedback and interactive practice while the learning is actively happening.
So the really crucial takeaway to keep in mind, Moodle and H5P aren't competing with each other at all. They are perfectly complementary. We aren't tossing out Moodle quizzes. Instead, we're using H5P to drive continuous engagement throughout the lesson, and we're relying on Moodle quizzes to handle the formal tracking at the finish line. It's the best of both worlds.
Section 3, multiple choice use cases.
Multiple choice is such a versatile way to bring active learning into your courses. Take this super simple example. What color does the blackcurrant berry actually have? Now imagine a learner just finished reading a really dense paragraph on plant biology. Suddenly, this pops up. It instantly forces them to recall a fact they just read seconds ago. Sure, it's a very low-stakes interaction, but cognitively speaking, it's cementing that new information right into their working memory.
But let's take this out of the biology lab. Why does this matter for, say, corporate or government training? Well, imagine following a dense, dry section on data privacy with a multiple-choice question that asks the learner to identify which specific action actually complies with organizational policy. See what happened there? You aren't just testing rote memorization anymore. You are testing their application of the rules in a realistic scenario. It is absolutely perfect for compliance training, product knowledge, or soft skills.
And let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture for a second. While multiple choice and true-false are fantastic all on their own, they truly shine when they act as supporting players within the broader H5P ecosystem. Just imagine embedding these exact question types directly inside an interactive video, or using them as critical decision points in a complex branching scenario. When you combine them like that, learner engagement literally skyrockets.
Section 4, true-false learning strategies. If multiple choice is your go-to for scenario application, true-false is your best friend for rapid-fire review. For example, is Canberra the largest city in Australia?
It's a really simple geography question, right? But look at the underlying mechanics here. It forces the learner to physically stop scrolling, make a definitive decision, and actively participate. And because these take barely 3 seconds to complete, you can sprinkle them frequently throughout your content to maintain a really high momentum.
Now, what's really brilliant about the true-false activity is the flexibility. H5P actually lets you change the standard true and false labels. You can swap them out for myth or fact, or agree or disagree, or even correct or incorrect. Think about it. A quick myth or fact check feels far less like a stressful test and way more like a fun interactive game. It's incredibly effective for things like orientation and policy reviews, allowing you to clarify common misconceptions right there on the spot.
Section 5. Adding H5P to Moodle.
Okay, so let's transition from the pedagogy to the practical, technical setup. The great news? Doing this is incredibly straightforward. It's just 6 quick steps. Step 1, turn editing on in your course. Step 2, add an activity and choose interactive content H5P. Step 3, select multiple choice or true-false. Step 4, punch in your question and your answer options. And Step 5, and listen, this is the absolute secret sauce. Configure your meaningful feedback. And finally, Step 6, hit save. Just like that, boom, your previously static page is suddenly an interactive experience.
Section 6. The power of feedback.
Meaningful guidance is really the unifying engine behind everything we've talked about today. The real magic of H5P isn't just asking a cool interactive question, it's what happens right after they answer. Meaningful, in-context guidance is everything. If they get it right, please don't just say good job. Use that moment to reinforce the concept and add a bit more context. And if they get it wrong, explain exactly why it's wrong and literally direct them back to the relevant section. This targeted feedback turns a simple quiz into a genuine, highly effective learning opportunity while the idea is still completely fresh in their mind.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this question to ponder. How will you transform your next static Moodle lesson into a balanced, active learning experience? You've got the pedagogy, you know the specific use cases, and you've got the technical steps. Start using H5P to engage your learners while they learn, and keep using those Moodle quizzes for the formal assessment at the end. Bring those two together and you've built a truly phenomenal learner-centered environment. Thanks so much for joining me today, and happy course building.